Hey everyone, Chell here with Prismatic Powders, and today we're going to show you a couple of methods that you can try if your parts are rejecting powder. Now we're going to focus on multi-stage applications, but some of this applies to a single coat as well. See, sometimes when applying a second or third layer in a 2 to 3 step process, you'll find that the part may not want to take powder. The issue can be more prevalent with a metallic base layer. And we're going to focus on two of the most common scenarios: a poor ground or an overcharged base coat. Now, before we get too far, if you find videos like this helpful, please be sure to like and subscribe.
Here's what you need to do. Make sure your ground wire clamp is secured to a bare metal surface on your rack. The layers of powder will act as an insulator, so it is important to keep the clamping surface clean. You need to use clean hooks, and you also need to keep the surface where your hooks are placed clean as well. This should be routine maintenance for your racks. If you've got a clean grounding surface and the powder is still not taking, try moving the clamp closer to the part that you are spraying. You may be able to clamp the hook itself that is suspending your part. Just be careful that you position it so that the cable doesn't rub powder off your parts. If you've ensured that all your ground surfaces are good and it's still not taking powder, you may have an overcharged base coat. If you suspect that this is the problem, you need to try these two things first. Drop your voltage and then increase the distance between the gun and the part. Lowering the voltage will reduce the risk of back ionization. Increasing the distance to the part will help that as well, because it allows the charge to dissipate through a larger, less dense powder cloud. The purpose in the technique here is to get the powder to lay lightly and evenly as you finesse it on. If you still see signs of some back ionization, you may want to blow off your parts and put them back in the oven for a few minutes. And this would be a good time to reflect on the Prismatic Principle for voltage. As low as possible, as high as necessary. It'll save you a lot of grief. From here, you have a choice on whether you want to try to hot flock or retry the prior technique, but with a lower voltage and potentially dropping the airflow in the feed.
Now, hot flocking will ensure that the powder will stick because it's melting on contact, but it's not without its pitfalls. In a lot of situations, it is a viable solution, but you must be confident in your abilities and understand those pitfalls. The risks start with the fact that you can't read the powder to know how much powder you've got on the part. You are relying on your experience, gun settings, and techniques to trust that you've got the right mill thickness. To add to this, you cannot just blow off the powder if you think you've overdone it. And if your gun spits or surges clumps of powder on your parts, you're starting over. Another problem with hot flocking is if the part is large, it may not hold that temperature long enough for you to shoot the whole piece, and it is for these reasons that we view hot flocking as a last resort. All right, hopefully these tips will help you the next time you have a part that is rejecting powder. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.